Breaking news, Donald Trump is now refusing to comply with the court that ordered him to find a way to fund SNAP benefits during the rest of the government shutdown, so 42 million Americans don't starve.
He is the most deranged president we have ever had. This is beyond words. He is fucking over so many people.
He's holding the American people's stomachs hostage. Imagine being that petty. And
we all know how Donald Trump likes to take credit for everything and be the first president to do this. I'm the best. Well, I got something. Donald Trump is the first president ever to do this in the history of the United States of America. In 249 years, not one president has done this. And guess what it is? Food benefits. He is taking food benefits away from children, people with low income, veterans, taking it away. Taking food from a child. First president that can say he did that. Isn't that just wonderful?
This is who the majority of y'all voted for. Not my demographic. But this is a freaking mess. It is a freaking mess.
He can go in there, drag his orange ass out of there, and arrest that piece of shit.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. So things are getting really serious right now. So apparently, Donald Trump has refused to release SNAP benefits even after a federal court ordered that payments must continue despite the government shutdown. But he's insisting that no food stamps will be given out until Democrats agree to open the government, And while politicians play power games in Washington, everyday normal Americans, they are the ones suffering the most, Families, parents, seniors, children. People are lining up at food pantries, wondering how they are going to feed their kids. And they are wondering, is this really what's making America great again? Let's talk about it.
3 days ago, a court in Rhode Island issued a temporary restraining order forcing the Trump administration to take money from Congress to fund SNAP benefits during the rest of the shutdown. At first, the Trump administration responded to this by complying, arguing that they would be able to find enough money to give partial benefits to SNAP recipients. This morning, Donald Trump woke up and walked that back, arguing that not a single American will receive any SNAP benefits until the Democrats end the government shutdown. So not only is he breaking the law when he's violating that court order, but he's breaking the law so he doesn't have to feed the hungry. He's breaking the law so people starve. If you're watching this video and you support Trump, consider the fact that if a lawful order from a judge in a court can't make Donald Trump care about the well-being of 42 million American citizens, then what the hell can?
Breaking news, no SNAP payments will be issued in November or beyond until the Democrats come back to the table and the government reopens. President Trump just said this. So yesterday, he said that a partial payment will go out to the people. Today, he said no payments. SNAP will receive no money, zero money, until the Democrats come back to the negotiating table and they find a solution and open this government back up. So this is huge. This is unbelievably big because right now, so many people's hopes were still alive. So many people were still hoping and expecting that the government would supply their need. We gave $40 billion to Argentina, though, didn't we? And we can give all this other money to all these other enterprises and agencies and operations. But those who are our own people, 42 million plus some people are now going to go without food for the month of November and maybe beyond. 42 million people because they are worried about their government, because they're worried about their political position. Oh, God, please move on this. Lord Jesus, move with favor. We pray this into your hands now. Please make this happen, Father. No SNAP payments. Love you guys.
And I just want everyone to understand that the United States as we know it is gone. You have to understand that. You don't have to make peace with it. But you have to understand that there are no checks and balances. I'm pretty sure SNAP is not coming back, ever. And I'm even highly suspicious that the government may never reopen, at least the way it has functioned for the last 6 decades. So with that acceptance, I think people need to figure out what's next. And anyone with pattern recognition, to my neurodivergents out there, It's not good. It's not good because we're going to see an acceleration, which is why they did it, right? Because the people who are going to get hurt by these SNAP benefits are going to be angry and scared and, more importantly, hungry. And hungry people are desperate people. And desperate people do what they have to do. And I speak for myself. I'm in a nice, safe, upper middle class suburb. Okay. It's going to be bad. And my neighbors and I have been trying to organize food drives, and I've been trying to give gift cards to people for Thanksgiving. But I don't think most people understand what's about to devolve in the next 14 days. And they know it will. It's no coincidence that he's deploying troops to all 50 states. He knows what's about to happen because he's created the problem. SNAP was funded through the year, back in January. Like, they have the money for SNAP. This was done to get the end result that they've been trying to do for the past several months, which is martial law. Because when people can't feed their kids, when moms can't get formula for their babies, things go left. And not left like that, but you know what I mean. Things get wild. So, good luck.
Multi-billionaire that was elected president is literally withholding food from the poorest people that he was elected to serve. Now, that's got nothing to do with partisan politics, folks. That is a literal fact. Now, I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican. I don't care what your thoughts are on the shutdown. If you think the Democrats are at fault, if you think the Republicans are at fault, none of that matters, because the power to give that SNAP money out lies in the hands of the president. And to say anything else is absolutely untrue. The president and his cohorts and his cabinet and in Congress are doing this as a political game strategy, literally withholding food from the poorest people among us for political gain. Whether you're a Trump supporter or not a Trump supporter is irrelevant. We should all have a problem with a multi-billionaire being in charge and withholding food from the poor people he was elected to serve. I cannot imagine having any other reaction than absolute shock and disgust for this situation. If this was a movie, who do you think the villain would be?
Y'all want some fucked up news? Well, your boy up top said there will be no SNAP benefits for November. He just posted on Truth Social that no SNAP benefits should be released or will be released until the government is opened again. Now, I don't know if he's talking out the side of his neck, but he will be defying a court order. He's holding the American people's stomachs hostage. Imagine being that petty and knowing that there are $6 billion in currency waiting to be used for this exact moment, and you don't want to give it up. Now, SNAP beneficiaries were supposed to receive at least 50% of their SNAP benefits this month. And that was because they did not have the full $9 billion to fund it. But now he's talking about not giving nobody shit. On top of that, he told grocery store chains that you will not be giving discounts to anybody on SNAP, because these grocery store chains knew that SNAP benefits was not being fully provided this month. They want to give them a discount. And Tupe Fiasco made it very fucking clear, if y'all give discounts to SNAP benefits, then you won't be able to use that shit ever again in your stores. At this point, he is using the American people for political gain and to also raise our Medicaid premiums. So here's the deal. Either you eat or you go to the doctors. Which one will you pick?
He is the most deranged president we have ever had. This is beyond words. He is fucking over so many people, and including his own supporters. Donald Trump just announced that he's defying a federal court order and refusing to give out food benefits until Democrats reopen the government. Let that sink in. He's not threatening politicians. He's threatening hungry families. More than 42 million people depend on SNAP just to eat. And now Trump's decided their next meal depends on how fast Congress gives him what he wants. He called it a negotiation tactic. No. It's extortion with food. The Department of Agriculture literally told the courts yesterday that they'd follow the law and pay at least half of the benefits using emergency funds. Trump just overruled them on Truth Social, bragging that benefits will be given only when the radical left Democrats open up government and not before. He's defying the courts, starving the poor, and using the most vulnerable people in America as leverage, all while his allies like Mike Johnson were busy praising him for complying with the law. And minutes later, Trump made him look like a fool. This message could not be clearer. If you're poor, if you're struggling, if you need food, he will use you as a bargaining chip. How many times does he have to show us that he doesn't care about anyone who can't serve him?
So the man that cut off your food stamp benefits as a tactic to make the Democrats bend to his will, the same man that's defying court orders to give you your food stamps, and now the same man who has his team reaching out to grocery stores, threatening them if they do any kind of specials or offers to assist you while you're not getting food stamps. This is the man that loves you? What type of toxic relationship are you in?
That piece of shit orange loser of Donald Trump, he announced today on Truth Social that he is not going to be giving out any SNAP benefits. Yesterday it was half, today it is nothing. He said that he is not going to release any SNAP benefits until the government reopens. So it's quite evident that this man gives zero fucks about anybody, and it's quite evident that he is using SNAP benefits as a political pawn in this dispute that he has ongoing with Democrats. Democrats, once again, they are only voting to keep the government shut down because they're trying to save our health subsidies or get them extended or something so we don't have to pay an arm and a leg for health insurance. But no, that orange piece of shit, now he is going to hold food from families that actually need it. But this is a court order, so I'm hoping that we can go in there, drag his orange ass out of there, and arrest that piece of shit.
Donald Trump has refused to release SNAP benefits despite a court order. A judge has ordered him to release SNAP benefits using the contingency fund, and he has defied that order. He has defied a court order from a judge to release SNAP benefits. The contingency fund is gone. If it's not obvious, it's gone. And it's so crazy because these people who voted for this, who voted for him, even his own words, they were saying that they wanted, it was too many illegal immigrants getting government assistance and this, that, and the third. And it's just like, okay, well, if y'all are deporting all of them, if you got all this ICE going on, why are you getting rid of it? You're deporting them, so they shouldn't be on it. It should just be the American people. But now you're taking it away from people who are entitled to it, in your words. And he's saying that he's not going to release food stamps until the Democrats vote to reopen the government. And he's trying to shift the blame to the Democrats. And I hope people don't fall for this. And I hope people understand why Democrats are not voting to reopen the government. If Democrats agree to reopen the government, they are agreeing to dismantle the Affordable Care Act. They are agreeing to dismantle Obamacare with no resolution, with no alternative. Trump does not have a health care plan for American people. And if they vote to reopen this government, so many people are going to lose their health insurance because their premiums are going to go through the roof. And Trump, when that happens, Trump is going to then blame Democrats and say, well, they voted for this too. You can't just say yes. No, so Democrats are holding out because no, we don't agree to this. Y'all don't have a plan. Americans need health insurance since y'all want to charge us crazy amount of prices just to go to the doctor. That's why we have health insurance, because we can't afford to be seen without it. This is who the majority of y'all voted for. Not my demographic, but this is a freaking mess. It is a freaking mess.
This really just happened. Donald Trump just said that he will only give SNAP benefits to starving Americans once Democrats open up the government. This is exactly why he's called a fascist. First, Trump claimed that he will not give SNAP benefits to Americans. Then he claimed that he can only do so when the courts give him direction. Then the courts gave him direction saying he must give SNAP benefits to those Americans who need it. And now he's claiming that he's going to defy that court order. So don't tell me not to call Donald Trump a fascist.
It's honestly heartbreaking to see how political power struggles end up harming the very people who rely on the system the most. The SNAP program or food stamps is not a luxury. It's a lifeline For millions of low-income Americans, it's the difference between having a meal tonight and going to bed hungry. When a president deliberately blocks those benefits, despite a federal court order, it raises serious questions about the abuse of power. The court made it clear, even during a shutdown, the government has a duty to protect its most vulnerable citizens. But instead of following that order, Trump is choosing to turn hunger into a political weapon. He is using people's pain as leverage, saying there will be no food assistance until Democrats come to the table. But here is the truth. Hunger is not a bargaining chip. Children should not be collateral damage in political games. Across America, food pantries are reporting longer lines. Grocery stores are seeing people break down at the checkout, unsure how they'll pay for essentials. These are not lazy people. These are working families, veterans, single parents, people who already struggle under rising cost of living. And now they're being told to wait, to starve, while politicians argue. What's even more alarming is how some supporters are defending this, calling it tough leadership. But ask yourself, what kind of a leader punishes the poor to make a political point? What kind of leadership ignores a court order to hold millions hostage just to prove dominance? That's not leadership. That's cruelty dressed up as politics. And this is what making America great again, where the hungry go hungrier, the courts are ignored, and the government's duty to serve its people becomes a tool for revenge. Then America has lost sight of its greatness. This situation is exposing something deeper than just a shutdown. It's exposing the moral crisis at the heart of American politics, a system where power matters more than people, where empathy is seen as weakness, where the suffering of the poor becomes a headline instead of a wake-up call. But Americans are not staying silent. Social media is exploding with outrage. Volunteers are stepping up. Communities are donating food. And churches are opening their doors because when leadership fails, the people often rise. Still, no community effort can replace a functioning government. People shouldn't have to depend on charity when there's a system designed to help them. That's why this moment matters, because it's about accountability, justice, and humanity. And maybe, just maybe, this will be the moment when Americans start asking the hard questions. Why are politicians so disconnected from real life? Why is hunger being used as a weapon? And how did we reach a point where obeying the law, a court order, becomes optional for those in power? The truth is, no nation can claim to be great while its people are going hungry. True greatness isn't about slogans, rallies, or walls. It's about compassion, justice, and the ability to protect your most vulnerable citizens, even when politics get messy. So tonight, as millions wonder how they will feed their families, maybe America should pause and reflect. Is this really making America great again, or breaking it apart? Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.